Welcome to the 34th episode of the Stepback. Your host, Leon Tompkins, my main man, Jacob Moses, and long from the dead, our good friend, Total Bases podcast host, Felipe Melecio. How you doing,
Man, I
buddy?
ain't, I ain't dead yet, motherfuckers. Come on. I'm all right, man. It's been I like your hoodie, Jacob. I just realized it. And
Thank you.
what's Leon's wearing a Michael Jackson T-shirt or something? What is that?
Really?
Oh, a
Michael
black
Jackson?
Michael Jackson T-shirt.
See,
Nice.
that's what I said.
Oh man,
That's
I'm
a
doing good
classic.
though. I'm just trying to stay warm. It suddenly got cold here in Chicago after like 6 or 7 consecutive days of like 75-degree weather here. It was yeah. So,
That's it.
but no, I'm doing fine, man. Thank you for having me on today.
Absolutely.
No, it's been great. Because last time we spoke, it was the Last Dance on ESPN, and a lot of things changed since then. Became a father.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations to you.
Oh yeah! Wow, has it been that long already?
Yes.
Oh yeah, well, thanks, man. I mean, as you guys could tell from all the pictures I share, I'm a proud papa. I love my baby.
hmm
I'm happy. I'm at my happiest right now when I'm around her, and obviously, second happiest is dealing with you guys all the time.
There
So
we
no,
go.
I can't complain right now.
Oh man, that's cool because the last time I complained about your Chicago school system, so I hope it gets better by the time she goes.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm in the suburbs, so
Oh, yeah. See, you good. There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still Cook County, but I'm in the suburbs, sure.
Better lunches, better system. Hey, we keep it real.
Sure, why not? Go ahead.
And speaking of changes, it's our last episode. We elected a president. Um, NBA, WNBA puts the vote. That was their message. Record turnout. That's a whole other fiasco we probably won't get into.
Nah.
But a lot of changes, positive. We'll see what goes on from there. A lot of changes going on in the league, coaching carousel, more going on there. Start of the season, December 22nd, free agency, November 22nd. You start negotiations on the 20th. I'm pretty sure a lot of these guys are going to let up backdoor deals. And tonight we're going to go over next week's draft prospects, top 30. We'll got a good friend, very good with spreadsheets, very good with analytics, Felipe Melecio, to help us out.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm here to help. I aim to please and I aim to help. Sure.
That's awesome, man. So start out the coaching carousel. Lots going on since we last left. Mike D'Antoni named the Nets assistant. I was real excited about that. That offense, Steve Nash and Stoudemire, just Phoenix Sun, just reigniting for 2005 aspect, get the Nets going. D'Antoni, I think he's in the right role as an assistant.
hmm
Chauncey Billups, Larry Drew added on Ty Lue along with Kenny Atkinson, so they forming a pretty good staff over there.
Wow.
Billups got his foot in the door. That's real nice. Him, Jeff Hornacek. I thought he was gone, but he ends up in Houston staff. Nate McMillan, new Atlanta Hawks assistant coach named today. So he found a job pretty quickly. Bring some veteran leadership to that young group. They're going to make a lot of noise, maybe pre-draft or trade. And Oklahoma City Thunder promoting their assistant, Mike Daigneault, continuing that theme going and naming him the head coach. You guys have any thoughts on any of the new coaching hires?
I like Nick McMillan going where he went. He brings a lot of experience, as we all know, with the Pacers. He's been there for a long time, very respected around the league. Um, I don't know too much about Oklahoma City's new coach. That he's been just an assistant for a while, but you know, gotta give him a shot. Uh, Jeff Hornacek can care less about.
Hmm?
Anyway, next subject. The Nets, they are forming a nice little tandem there. More than a tandem. They just really getting Steve Nash all the help he can get. I think he's gonna need it with Kyrie's antics. But like with Amari, Nash, that pick and roll they had, the game, the chemistry is already there. That'd be interesting to see. Um, Kenny Atkinson, you said he went to the Clippers, right?
Yeah, with Billups and
With Billups.
Larry Drew.
I like that. That's a nice little coaching squad. If they can get a point guard with that and put that together, the Clippers might be back where they need to be. But other than that, yeah, it's like you said, it's a carousel. It's,
Yeah, you mentioned the point guard situation for the Clippers. A lot of rumors going around with Westbrook and Chris Paul, and just name a point guard. The Clippers are heavily invested. The Knicks are invested in a point guard. Suns appear to be interested in Chris Paul. Do you think any of these rumors come to fruition?
Westbrook is gone. He's not staying. He already said he wants out, and there's no way you can go in the next season with him and Harden. Harden's going to feel some kind of way about his statement saying that I want out. And I have a hot take that I'm gonna bring towards the end of the show, and Leon, you it's gonna be a
Right.
gunsmoke, as I always say.
Ooh,
But yeah, Westbrook, I don't think he goes to the Knicks. I love Brody, but I don't want to see him on the Knicks. I don't like that his contract and his game is starting to decline. I don't
Wow.
think it's gonna help too much. But I can see him going to the Clippers. I don't know who they would give up, but I can see him going to the Clippers, and that team would be a shit show. I think because the attitudes and just I don't know how that would work, to be honest though. But just his ways, I don't think he would change them with Kawhi. And then imagine if Harrell comes back, it's just gonna be something else.
but see, and that's why I think the new coaching staff will come in and help him out.
Hmm.
So it's not like you're bringing in rookie head coaches. I mean, besides
Hmm.
Billups, he's a respected player in the league.
Hmm.
But I think Westbrook on the Clippers would definitely help him out. I mean, he doesn't
Oh
have a
yeah.
much better jump shot than Pat Bev, but it's the star power you can't deny.
Right. All right, go to bed.
It'd definitely be like a new big three, wouldn't it? Like everybody's always trying to combine these big all-star and superstar players. I mean, I, I like when talent gets accumulated. So anywhere Russell Westbrook goes, I'm always optimistic about it, despite his antics.
Mhm.
And I'm surprised Jacob doesn't want him on the Knicks. You guys don't want anybody. You guys don't want Chris Paul. You don't want Russell Westbrook. Who do you want?
I want to build. Man, fuck that. I want Westbrook. I'm not even gonna lie. I wouldn't mind. No, in the back of my head, I want Westbrook because he's like one of my favorite players. I will say it, but because we need something there. I mean, we
Yeah.
just can't go into. We can go into the season with a whole bunch of rookies, but we need something to put us together. If it's Westbrook, I will say this: I won't get mad if we get him, because then we'll have something. Maybe he can pull his triple doubles out of his hat and give us 2 or 3 productive years. But at this point, Leon Rose has been bought in, and there's a reason. Head of CAA, he was heavy into it. His relationship with his players. Give me a Devin Booker. I mean, maybe you can pull him away, but just give me something. But Westbrook, I wouldn't be totally mad about. Chris Paul, no, because Oklahoma City is looking to fleece people, and we can't
Always.
have that. And definitely, you just can't. Just don't make that mistake that we've made, over and over. As you know, as a Bulls fan, you see us suffering, and yeah, you get a joy out of it. I can see it right now. But you just can't. Just don't make a dumb deal just to make a deal. Make sure you know what you're doing, and just run with it that way. Just don't make a mistake. 'Cause Lord knows
That's fair enough. I don't know, man. you put Chris Paul next to that young core.
Mhm.
Now it just depends who the Knicks are trading, right? But like I said, I think I told you guys before. When's the last time Chris Paul had a losing season?
I get it, man. It's
Can't find one.
All
I
right,
can't.
that's what I mean. I mean, he ultimately makes everyone around him better. You know that Thibodeau's gonna love the guy.
Oh yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure.
Thibodeau likes undersized point guards, and what better undersized point guard than Chris Paul? And I don't know, man. I'm very optimistic on a Knicks, and I don't like the Knicks at all. But if you give me Chris Paul and you surround him with all that cast of young players like an RJ Barrett, oh my God, RJ Barrett's life just gets so much easier and so much better with a Chris Paul, and that's how I see it. Now, that's just me wanting the talent. I don't care about the money. It's not my money. What do I care? It's not the players I'm giving up. I don't care. But yeah, I can see why Knicks fans are hesitant because you can't. This could burn you for a long time. So it is. But you got to do something. I mean, you can't go in there again and say, okay, this is the same young core we had last year, and expect that a veteran coach like Tom Thibodeau is going to coach him up, which he doesn't do. Jimmy Butler coached himself up. He had to, but I mean, we saw Butler's made out of different fabric. This guy, so. But for a long time, Thibodeau refused to play Butler because he wanted to play, guys like Heinrich and Kirk Heinrich, I should say, and Luol Deng. I mean, he played Luol Deng until Luol Deng needed an IV to function the next day. This is the same guy who got Luol Deng a spinal tap. Like, he's gonna play him until they got nothing else to play for, and then, okay, Jimmy, get back in there. We'll see what you can do. I mean, that's his MO. So yeah, but you put a guy like Chris Paul who can kind of balance that out and show these young guys how to do it, and I thought he was gonna get pouty in Oklahoma City, and he puts them on his back and puts them in the playoffs. So. You guys can tell I'm a big Chris Paul fan here, so maybe I'm just a little bit too biased.
Oh no, I'm with you. I'm one of the
Yeah.
big things, like my favorite point guard. It goes him and then Damian Lillard. But it's just you can't give up all your assets on a 35-year-old. That's the biggest thing. Like Westbrook, if we can give him up to nothing and no picks for him because you're taking on that contract, get rid of Nas. I'm fine because they don't use him anyway. Get rid of Julius Randle. I don't care. And then bring in Christian Wood. Plug him at power forward. Then you could bring Westbrook. Then we can have a formidable team. With Westbrook, RJ, Christian Wood, Mitch, and then whoever else we bring on. But I'm not just making a deal to make a deal. That's just,
Yeah, I get it, man.
Yeah.
And you want to be careful. I understand. So listen, if you're telling me that they have a chance to get either Paul, Westbrook, or even Devin Booker,
I'm taking Booker. That 8 pick can go. I'll go and get him right now. I'll risk Corona. I'll risk me and Devin Booker gonna have a nice little conversation on that road trip.
Yeah, man. It's New York, so the sex parties are gonna go up, way up. So, I mean, it's gonna be fantastic. I mean, take him to Times Square, whatever shady area of Times Square is left. He's gonna love it.
Damn.
What'd I say?
No, that's true, man. That's excitement right there.
Well, you better believe it. Yeah, he can get more Instagram models out in New York. They mostly are center around there, right? The TikTok girls, the Twitter girls, they're all up there. So you can take them up and down on Manhattan, then take them to Staten Island for some real deets,
Shit, you begging for STD over there.
I don't know how Devin Booker likes it. Shoot.
I'm
not here to judge.
I heard those Suns players were riding them hard and leaving them wet, something like that, or leaving them dry.
Riding something hard too. I heard that.
I mean, I guess that's
apparently there's video out there. You guys can search for it.
I
will not promote nor discourage you from searching for it.
Hey, whatever rose your boat.
No comments.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what, really quick. I just want to put in the one last one-liner for you guys. At least he didn't use his family as a crutch to ditch the team and go to Los Angeles to get into his own sex party.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm always gonna bring that up. Derrick Rose, man.
Jesus.
I'm a family man. Goes to Los Angeles and has a sex party of his own in Los Angeles.
That's kind of wild. That was. Hey, man. MVP.
Devin, I'm just saying, Devin has no priorities. Oh, yes, he does. Didn't he impregnate 2 of those women or 3.
I think so. He might have.
Hey, I'll tell you what. The case for Derrick Rose was done in court here in New York City, or there in New York City. So hey, if Devin goes to New York, it just saves him. It saves him a plane trip, right?
Hey, Derrick Rose, MVP, does MVP things. Just saying. Hey.
Leon, save us here, man. This is getting off the rails.
He can't even contain himself.
You look at it from Chris Paul and the Thunder's point of view. They're looking to ditch that contract, get the coach some more young talent they can promote and develop. When you look at it from the Rockets' point of view, new coaching staff, new offensive philosophy. You have 2 stars. What's the best way to rebuild? You have to trade those stars. So if Westbrook's going to go, I'm almost certain Harden is to follow. There's a lot of talk with the Sixers that they might be involved. So the Westbrook.
I was going to say, sorry to interrupt you. Before what it's worth, I don't know if you guys saw that, but James Harden said that he's committed to the Houston Rockets in terms of staying. So I know players like to talk, but I'm just throwing it out there that he said that out of his mouth.
Hey, you got to say the right thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The new season is starting December 22nd, 72-game season. Around Christmas time, new deal broke. Originally thought it would be a 50-game season starting at MLK Day, but they did not want to lose $1 billion, so we said, you know what, we'll give LeBron 1 less month to recover.
Oh man, conspiracy.
You guys have any thoughts on the new 72-game season starting Christmas?
I feel bad for those players, man.
Yeah.
What is it? The shortest amount of time off in any sport ever, or in the history of the 4 major sports, or whatever it was. That's not fair. And basketball is a grueling sport. I don't care what the hockey fans will tell you or what the football fans will tell you. Football, they only play 16 games. I don't want to hear it. This is 82, or well, 72 grueling games, and you know they're gonna pack as many games as they can in a week. And
for sure.
Yeah. So if you thought the regular season was boring before, imagine a regular season where players are having multiple games off just to catch up and recover. I could foresee LeBron James, you guys mentioned, it gives him 1 less month to recover. I could see him taking about a week or 2 every once in a while just so his body can recover. It's grueling, man. But I understand why they're doing it. But even then, the season's not going to finish until when? August, I think, right?
Yeah,
was it?
just about.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm not a.
And they did that to make sure that they were able to play in the Olympics.
Oh God.
Wow. Jeez.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. They should have gave him another month or so. Like the MLK Day, just push it, give him as much time as possible. But I get it because a lot of the teams didn't play, so you're just like, okay, let's go. But yeah, I'm not a fan, but it is what it is.
Yeah, money speaks. Money talks, man. That's what it boils down to is the money. I mean, and Christmas. I mean, it's the biggest day. It's the NBA season. It's Christmas time. Unofficially begins the NBA season. That's when it gets real for a lot of these teams and players. So, like, I mean, I'm with Jacob. I get it. I feel bad. I mean, it's gonna be grueling for those guys.
Oh yeah, injuries. I can see a lot happening.
Or injuries.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Quotation marks. Devin Booker goes to the wrong whorehouse and he pulls a groin.
The stroke will never be the same.
Different kind of stroke.
The only issue I have with it is what's going on outside of basketball. You look at the COVID cases; they're rising, and you're expecting these teams to travel across the country with, expecting negative tests. I don't think there's any way they can do this again without a bubble.
No, not at all.
Can't do it.
I think, well, granted they're doing 72 games. I thought they may be able to do an Orlando and Vegas bubble, Eastern Conference, Western Conference, or a 3-city bubble where you rotate 24 games apiece and have your teams rotating schedule. But finding that third city was the problem, because Orlando and Vegas is one, but the third city, that's where I had an issue coming up with one. But
So are they gonna just play like it's like nothing's happening? They're gonna travel across the country, not even a regional schedule like they did in baseball?
Nah.
Wow.
No.
Wow, West Coast trips in the middle of a pandemic, huh, you guys?
That's gonna be nuts, man. I'm trying to imagine how it's gonna happen. But, hey.
And then you have one Canadian team who doesn't have a home, and you're trying to figure out where they're gonna play. So rumors are, Memphis, Jersey. It's so many options that they don't have one yet. I mean, I had mentioned Seattle before, but it looks like Jersey may be the leading option, considering you have the Knicks and Nets there. You can pack as many as you can in that area.
I guess.
Maybe Buffalo, but expecting these teams to travel across the country for 6 months while COVID cases are rising is almost, maddening. And they're expecting to have fans.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Jeez, man. Well, these teams are getting desperate, man. They're getting desperate. They're losing money. I get it. I mean, I understand. It's a real tragedy, is what it is.
Yeah. Free agency starting November 18th.
Right?
Yeah. No, that's draft November 18th.
I'll take it as draft. Okay.
November 20.
It's right
November
after
22nd.
There you go.
November 22nd. Negotiations start on the 20th, but as you know, a lot of these deals backdoor, they've been negotiated and worked out. So the free agency period is short, but I'm sure a lot of these guys have deals in place already.
Now, are they expecting the same like big money deals like in years past, or is it going to? Are these players in for a rude awakening this upcoming free agent period?
I think the max contract will remain a max contract, but there's not one like you would consider max guy out there. Probably the top guy is Van Vliet.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to get
paid. He wants to get paid.
Yeah, he even said it. He said, I want a championship. I want to cash out. Can't blame him.
No. Like you say, you're looking at guys like Christian Wood and Serge Ibaka. So I don't think the money would be an issue. It's just really the travel with these teams and the grueling schedule. But
yeah,
free agency should be fast and furious.
26. Fast and Furious 26.
Next week, NBA draft. Minnesota with the top pick, Golden State with the second pick. We've been going throughout the weeks, highlighting many of the draft prospects. Our good friend, Mr. Melecio here, very good with spreadsheets. Total Basis Podcast. Explain what goes on your show.
Well, on my show with Sean Connery Flannery, that's what I call him. I'm just gonna call him that in honor of Sean Connery. So it's his fault for having his name rhyme with his last name rhyme with Connery. So our friend Sean, as you guys know, a fellow Mets fan for Jacob and a fellow enemy of you and I are Leon, because you're a Nationals fan, I'm a Cubs fan, and there's no rivalry between the Mets and the Cubs. Well, they used to be in the same division a long time ago, and well, I enjoyed when we used to whoop their asses. So, but no, of course. But we basically do player and team evaluations, and it's also done for selfish reasons. It's to get an edge on our fantasy baseball teams. And we also give fantasy baseball advice, as Jacob would know from the ass whooping we gave him this year in our fantasy baseball league, right?
Injuries.
Oh, yeah. Oh, again with the injuries. You're like the 20th person who told me that this year.
But, hey,
What?
truth. The truth.
Hey, I was injured too. I mean, Juan Soto took him 2 weeks to get back into the lineup, and he had COVID. But I'm just saying, Sean and I finished 1 and 2 for a reason, because we know what we're talking about, right?
That's true. That's true.
So no, so we selfishly we do it from a fantasy baseball perspective, but we're also hoping that because we're talking about fringe prospects. We're talking bottom of the barrel prospects who we like, and we're hoping that they get risen as they play more, practice more, they get coached up, and or if you're like Lucas Giolito of the White Sox, he goes out independently and figures out how to throw a good changeup on his own, because the coaching staff doesn't know what the hell they're doing. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that kind of trying to stay a step above everybody else. And you guys can stay a step with us by listening every Sunday mornings. And it's like we tell these guys, hey, I don't know, give me a good sleeper. Catch us Sunday morning. Catch us outside Sunday morning. Like, seriously, I mean, we tell you who we're going to pick up, who we're going to target, who we're looking at in the minors, who we're looking at in the waiver wires, who we're looking at other teams. Like, boy, like Sean will tell you, oh, boy, if Yandy Diaz can just get regular playing at bats, watch out. If he can get regular playing time, watch out for Yandy Diaz. He'll tell you until his face turns blue. And then he ends up with Yandy Diaz. I mean, that's how it works. But, so basically so I talked about prospects, right? We talk about prospects all the time because they're the future, like the kids are our future. Well, it's the same thing here in the NBA. A little different, but it's basically the same. We're trying to figure out who the best talent players are, and then once the talented players are gone, now you're trying to figure out, okay, which of these so-called bottom of the barrel, these late round draft picks or potential draft picks have the best chance to succeed in this league. And it's hard, because if you don't have a good combination of skill, talent, and physical ability and characteristics, you're screwed. Go get a plane ticket to Europe, because that's going to be your future, my friend. Just get it right now. Start learning how to speak Greek, Turkish, Chinese, Japanese, whatever, Australian. Start learning, because you ain't going to make it in this league.
But now you guys do a great job over there. Definitely catch it. I watch it. Even if I don't catch it live, I'll catch it. An hour later or so. It's really good. I'm using it for my season because I'm coming for your heads. Just letting y'all know.
There you go, man.
It has to happen.
Yeah, we don't advise people to not do what we wouldn't do. So whatever notes you're taking down, you already a step ahead of the game. I'll tell you that much.
That's right.
On that note, we have provided many of the clips within the group of the prospects. It was a bit harder this year due to no March Madness or the stock rising, falling. It's really hard to gauge, but the top 8 to 10 have really been determined. Luckily, our friend here has a nice spreadsheet.
You want me to share it now?
Of the top prospects in the game. We'll go over to Minnesota. They have the number 1 pick. Usually their needs are a point guard, but I have a feeling they'll trade that pick for an established star. But
Booker.
Yeah,
Booker. Yeah, that's the name I keep hearing too.
Yeah, I definitely think Booker is going to Minnesota. It seems like common sense, but common sense is not common for everyone.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the rapper. Sorry.
No. He's been good to me lately. I caught his last album. It was pretty good.
Oh, okay. So they have D'Angelo Russell, if memory serves me correct. It's the season has ended like a long time ago. I forgot who was on who now, but they would have a backcourt of D'Angelo Russell and Devin Booker, correct? If the Devin Booker deal goes through.
Yep.
Yeah, then they don't need LaMelo Ball here.
No.
No, so LaMelo Ball would just be wasted up there. It'd be like with that one year when they got Johnny Flynn and Ricky Rubio, and they got another point guard in that one draft. But we know that they skipped on Steph Curry that one time. So there is such a thing as too much of a good thing here.
That, especially if you don't get it right.
Yeah, but But no, yes, yeah, because as you guys know, I mean, you're a Knicks fan. You would know that a wrong choice in the draft, that's gonna set you back at least 3 seasons.
Jordan Hill, Michael Sweetney. I can go on for days, but I won't do it right now because I mean, for days, 20 years worth of bad picks from trading, trading the pick that turned into Noah and Aldridge, and yeah, I just love watching these guys flourish everywhere else. It's real great. It's great.
Well, the only good thing that Michael Sweetney did was eat at the buffet table for the Bulls. So that should
Exactly.
make you happy.
I know. And then, well, and you also gave us Eddie Curry. Yes,
Oh,
thank you.
there you go.
We
That'll
appreciate
teach you.
that. Yeah,
No, I appreciate you.
yeah.
I
Him and
appreciate you, man.
Jerome James giving him anyway. All right, back to the draft. If I
You can,
start, no, I don't want to
so
rant.
really quick, so LaMelo Ball is the number one according to this. These are ESPN rankings, not my rankings. I'm just an information gatherer here, so whatever.
Okay.
But LaMelo Ball uh, is the number one prospect here. He looks like to be the prototypical point guard. I mean, that's what ESPN has him, and most of these scouting reports come from the dude that used to run the DraftExpress.com
Hmm.
before they got bought out by ESPN. So that if you're a blogger or if you're an independent sports writer, that is the dream, is to just get picked up by ESPN and let you have free will on their website to be able to do all this stuff, and then a guy like me can come in and just steal or borrow for the
Hey,
purposes of his own podcast. But so that's the strength. These are the weaknesses. You guys can read them for yourselves. I'll try to highlight some of them because I don't want to
oh,
read the whole thing because I might bore you
Oh
guys.
no,
oh no, no, we're good.
it's
But
fine. But
basically, but basically, he's supposed to be a franchise point guard, and I also have my own comps right here next to these what the projected roles would be,
Mhm.
and over here is the NBADraft.net or whatever website I could find because NBADraft.net was being very funky the last couple of days. So,
Mhm.
as you can see, they think that LaMelo Ball is the next Sean Livingston, which
That's fair. That's
that's
actually.
pretty fair.
Yeah, that is. I'll say this: he is what Sean Livingston is like was supposed to be before his injuries. The dude had everything. He had the size, the floor vision,
Yeah.
and coming out of school, he just, his shot was funky, and that carried with him. But with Lamelo, I really don't like his shot because he brings it so low. Like his set is really low, and then when he has to bring it up, somebody's going to already be in your face. You got to get a quicker release. That's what Lonzo had to do. He had to get a quicker release, and he started to get a little bit better. But the one thing that you can't deny when it comes to Lamelo Ball is his creativity on the floor, and he sees he's one step ahead of the game when it comes to being a point guard. I give him that. But sometimes he likes to think he's in, NBA 2K and starts dribbling behind his back, and he a little bit too much. And I've seen him get stripped a lot of times. And playing like that, you're going to turn the ball over about 5 or 6 times a game. And that's,
Mhm.
you can't do that.
Yeah, he's a little bit on the cocky side for sure. He gets that from his daddy for sure, and that's one of his weaknesses. His dad is LeVar, and I remember when Lonzo came up out of UCLA. When I saw him, I immediately thought to myself, "Well, that's Jason Kidd right there." And remember,
Hmm.
Lonzo was also a top 3 pick and a very highly regarded prospect coming out of college. And the same, and just a few clips I've seen of Lamelo, I see visions of Lonzo as well, the bad shot included. But I
Hmm.
also see a little bit of Jason Kidd in these kids and the Ball brothers here. So yeah, I know I hate his dad. I've been very vocal about it, but I do like the Ball brothers. As Jacob and Leon, you guys would know, I drafted Alonzo in my fantasy basketball draft this year
Hmm.
just because I believe in him. I believe that with the right players around him, the right situation, with the right amount of minutes, Lonzo can succeed in this league. And same thing with Lamelo. But yeah, Lamelo needs to simmer down and get a better shot, and maybe he could become the franchise point guard that the ESPN thinks he can be.
I believe it. I wasn't too high on him, but after watching a few more games, like if he cleans up his weaknesses, just to keep him to a minimum, he can be great. I can't say he won't be great. I think he has the chance to do it.
Now, are we assuming that Devin Booker will be traded to the Timberwolves and therefore the Suns will get this pick?
That it's a maybe. I mean, I don't think it would happen because the Suns, especially if you pull a deal for Chris Paul, there means they're going for it. They're trying to get to the playoffs and make some kind of a run. Because you're
Yeah.
not going to trade Booker and then get Chris Paul. It just doesn't make any sense. But it's possible. But
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely. But But Anthony Edwards, though, that Leon had a good point before we were coming on, how his stock might be dropping.
Yeah.
And Leon, what did you hear?
Well, heard he had a bad pro day. His work ethic and his conditioning were really, really bad. Um, Stock's been dropping below 5.
Mm.
I've heard as low as 8 to 10, but he is the most offensively gifted player in this draft. Um, I still think he goes top 3. Golden State has the second pick. I don't see him going to Golden State. Um, I don't see him going to Charlotte. I could possibly see him going to Chicago, who may have the 4th pick. But as far as Edwards is concerned, he is a offensively gifted scorer, but his defense is god awful.
Oh yeah, he watching him at school, he seemed uninterested a lot of times, and he just get caught flat-footed on the defensive end. And as if you're gonna be that guy, you're gonna at least have to try. Even James Harden, he actually plays defense. Surprisingly, it might seem like just because you see all his offensive end, but he actually, he's involved in the defense, quick hands, and I'm not a big fan of um that comparison. I'll say he can be more of a Donovan Mitchell, and maybe a
Mm,
Dwayne Wade, even though Dwayne Wade was pretty good on the defensive end himself.
yeah.
I will say a Mitchell rather than James Harden, because James Harden is a walking bucket, and I don't know if Anthony Edwards is that. He can score in college, yeah, absolutely, but the shot has to get a little bit better. Free throw shooting, he has to get better. So there's a few things that he has to, like consistency, like you said, he has to get better on before you can even, you know, get towards James Harden. So I like the Donovan Mitchell comp rather than James Harden on that one.
Yeah, I was leaning towards Mitchell, but I did it partially to be funny. I
Mhm,
mean, a guy who could score from anywhere,
mhm.
explosive, and his defense wanes from time to time. It just sounded like James Harden, a star
Oh,
scoring guard.
mhm.
It sounded even more the reputation than the actual reality that maybe this is James Harden, especially if he's going to be the number 2 prospect in this draft. Hey, if you're picking number 2 and this is a top 2 prospect, you better be getting a home run here. And I
Mhm.
know the chances of that of that happening are what would you guys say, 50-50, 60-40? But for all intents and
All right.
purposes, if you're one of these top 5 teams, if you're drafting Anthony Edwards, he better be something close to James Harden, D Wade, or Donovan Mitchell, let
Yep.
alone
Absolutely.
yeah. So no, I like Anthony Edwards. Even from like this past summer when I was reading about him, he kind of like just popped up, and he was more impressive to me just reading about him as opposed to Lamelo. Even though I do like me a good point guard like Lamelo Ball, but one thing about Anthony Edwards, he's a pretty unique guy. If he has his head on straight and has his weight under control, he's at 225. At least he's listed as that from ESPN.
Mhm.
But if you're saying that there's already concerns about his conditioning, then we might have another problem. And
Anthony Bennett.
yeah, and a whole list of other NBA players too, right? So
Mhm.
yeah,
But man,
Number 3, James Wiseman, the center out of Memphis. Uh, uh, Left school a bit early. I forgot the reason he left, but uh, highly touted prospect. Uh, Golden State really looking into him. Uh, you've seen the videos in the group. Uh, Mobile, quick, uh, very good footwork, defensive presence. His his offensive game could use some work as far as his footwork,
mhm.
but um, as you see, his comp uh, John Collins, and I'm a huge fan of John Collins.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, Hassan Whiteside,
I could see
uh,
that.
defensive defensive presence, but we'll see what happens with James Wiseman. What's your thoughts on that?
He's good. I mean, he went. Well, he left school because they told him whoever he listened to said he was going to be a top 5 draft. And when you listen to your agents and stuff like that, and they know, hey, you're going to get picked there. you don't really have a choice. Or you have a choice, but if you're going to be top five or you're going to risk it all, get injured, and then you drop, you got to take that chance of, going top five. But Wiseman, I really think he's going to go to the Warriors because they need that interior presence. That's all they need. They're going to be on the warpath coming back. Everybody's talking about, oh, the Lakers, the Clippers. Let's not forget about Golden State. Clay is in his prime. Steph is in his prime. Draymond, he's slowing down a little bit, but still, you have him, you have Pascal, and they have a few pieces on that bench that can, make an impact. But Wiseman, you put him right there, all he got to do is be like a Mitchell Robinson for us, just protect the rim. And plus, he has a nice little mid-range lefty, mid-range game. That's all you really need. I mean, especially with Golden State, where you get the ball here and there. If you miss a shot, you know, get your little putback rebounds, get some points off there. He could be a easy 12 and 10 guy with 2 blocks a game, especially on that team and that system. And Minnesota, it wouldn't make any sense because they already got Towns. You know, Charlotte, well, he could go to Charlotte, but him and Devontae Graham, that would be really interesting. But Golden State, I think they would be really silly to pass him up because that's their one pressing need is center. And you have it right there. If he turns into a Whiteside, you can see Golden State back into the finals again.
Yeah, I really like this kid, man. Like the more I read about him, the more I excited I got. And I'm hoping the Bulls get him, but
Mhm.
they already have Wendell Carter and Laurie Markkinen in the front court, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna pass on him. I know they got their eyes set on this the kid from
Denny?
Israel,
Hmm.
so I guess we're gonna get a kid from Israel, right? But Wiseman, I mean, you can't teach height, you can't teach length. I mean, and he can. It sounds like he could jump out of the gym. I like players like that. You know, a guy who could play center and protect the rim and just be that imposing figure. That's why I put him as the next Dwight Howard. You know, a top 3 pick.
Mhm.
Um, and as you guys may or may not know, I am a big fan of Dwight Howard in terms of like what he did for his career back, especially with the Magic, where
Hmm.
he basically was the #1 dominant center
Yes,
in basketball
a long
in
time.
the NBA for a very long time.
Hmm.
And we only remember him from the Lakers when he had back issues and he had to deal with Kobe Bryant and telling him to put on his big boy pants. And it was not a very good environment for him to, grow or whatnot. And you notice that he's now has a championship with LeBron James, who different type of player there in terms of the intangibles. But no, this is the guy I'm excited for. And I agree with Jacob. Maybe the Warriors would be a better fit. Sorry, I pressed on my button here.
Oh, good.
It would have been a better fit for them, but they do have a couple of centers, unless I'm missing something on their free agents or whatever. But they have the Marquise Chris and Kevin Looney as well.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
so yeah, so maybe they're hesitant. Maybe they'll trade down or whatever and try to see if they can get more depth with their team. But yeah, if you get James Wiseman, I would be a very excited basketball fan no matter where he goes. I mean, he can go to Cleveland, Atlanta. Well, maybe not Atlanta, but yeah, or Charlotte, because Charlotte has a bunch of
Nobody.
unathletic centers. Last I checked, right?
Yeah, you're right about that one. I mean, they have. Do they still got what's the name? Cody Zeller.
Oh God,
Yeah.
is he still? I don't know if he's
Bum.
still in the league.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He is. I mean, Michael Jordan. Just hey, you help much as you help the Bulls. You God, you oh Lord, you suck as a damn owner and GM, whatever the hell he is.
I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know either. All right,
Yeah,
man.
Cody Zeller. Wow.
Yeah, he's. Ugh. Well, I like Miles Bridges. Yeah, he got something there. That's about it. And Devontae Graham he found, but center, it ain't no Alonzo Mourning walking through that door, here, buddy.
Yeah.
Nope.
Man,
Number 4, Denny Avdija,
there you go.
forward from Israel, uh, proficient in the pick and roll, but a very poor shooter. Uh, Comp Hedo Turkoglu. Now, Turkoglu is a bit weird
Cause he could
because
shoot.
yeah, he could shoot, and his vision his vision was very very good with Orlando, even though he was incredibly slow
Hmm.
and injured most of the time. Uh, Avdija, I could see him going to Cleveland.
Hmm.
There have a need at the wing spot, and they're picking 5. So uh, going in with those fast guards. Um, the bad shooter, Cleveland lacks shooting, but coming over from Israel, the international game usually at a faster pace. So I don't think you'll have an issue picking it up.
Mhm.
Yeah, my only thing with him with Denny here is that he just sounds like he has this old man game to him. It's more craft than athleticism, and which I guess the Bulls kind of need a player like that because they already have, like I mentioned, Laurie Market and Wendell Carter, so they need a wing player who can be steady. But man, I have a bad feeling about him, about Avdija, as I compared him to a like having being productive as an old Thaddeus Young, and I do like Thad Young a lot,
Mm.
but you know I don't know. I'm just not sure if this is what the Bulls are looking for. But I mean, in a way they are. But it's just that something about him is making me very murky about him. Like this is a potential bust for the Bulls. But it's like they're damned if they do and they're damned if they don't. Basically, they if they don't do it, then they're gonna get one of these other athletic players and that have no skill. They can't distribute the ball and facilitate for others. But if they pick up Denny, I mean, he has limited upside from what I'm reading,
Mhm.
and he can be neutralized by more athletically gifted players. So we'll see. But more than likely, this is who the Bulls are going to pick, just from what I've been reading, what I've been hearing, that they like this kid a lot, that that he fits a need for them, like you guys mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll see. But I'm just for the record, I'm letting you all know I am not very excited for this. I would have been more excited for James Wiseman, but you know, that's not how the Bulls operate,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
But yeah, I definitely like Denny. I mean, obviously he has some. He's gonna have some comparisons to Luca, how he can actually on that side of the floor with vision and his feel for the game. But Luca could shoot.
yeah.
So you kind of Turgaloo. It's a poor man's Turgaloo is fine, and I can definitely see the Bulls taking him. Or they can go point guard like a Killian Hayes maybe because he fits their system pretty well.
Yeah,
But
I
I
saw that too. For a
mm,
long time, Killian Hayes was supposed to go to the Bulls, and I'm more excited for Killian Hayes than I am for Denny Avdija.
yeah,
But even Killian Hayes comes with his own set of problems, and he's also a
absolutely.
foreign player. But like I said, I'm more excited for him. But I think the other problem is that they already got Kobe White.
They gotta
So
let him play. That kid he can be good. Just let him play. Give him his 25 to 30 minutes and let
yeah,
him rock out. Do you guys still have Chris Dunn? Because he made some strides before stoppage wise and going back to last year.
yeah, I'm not sure what the contract situation is. I'm actually trying to look for a good website to tell me what the rotation will be,
Mm,
and take into account free agent status. And
mm.
I'm not seeing anything that is satisfying my thirst for knowledge. But Chris Dunn, according to ESPN, still on the depth chart for the Chicago Bulls. So maybe it's one of, and they got Tomas Satoransky, who I thought he signed for a multi-year deal as well, if
Huh.
memory serves me correct.
Hmm.
So maybe Killian Hayes would not be a good fit in terms of getting a player to help out right away,
Yeah, then it
because he'll
might
be
be it.
buried in the depth chart. So
So then it might be it.
Onikia Okongwu, uh, number 5 listed here, center from USC. Very mobile, very quick. Comparisons to John Collins.
I got one.
Uh, yeah, I like that one too.
Mhm.
Um, Offensive game is a little lacking, but um, high motor, good shot blocker, and it looks like I like him in Charlotte as well. If Wiseman is gone, um, number 6 is in Atlanta. I
Mhm.
could see Atlanta moving the pick, someone moving up. But what's your thoughts on Okongwu?
I like him. I like the Collins comp, but I'm gonna go with Bam because he's actually an offensive threat on the floor, and he's a really good two-way player. And I'm like he reminds me of Bam. He's just explosive, and then he gets down there and he actually he puts a body on people in the paint. He's not scared to use his size, and like Felipe has up there. His strength is there, leaping ability, versatile defender. That's Bam right there. Everybody saw Bam play, and everything pretty much it fits him. And any team he goes to, they're gonna have a gem because he pretty much burst on the scene out of nowhere. And that's he'll
My
be a
only thing is that he's only 6'9".
Mhm.
Otherwise, I mean, lob catching, shot blocking center is what the projected role is,
Mhm.
and that's basically James Wiseman, who I just spoke glowingly about not too
Mhm.
long ago. Uh, I, so yeah, at the very least, he's DeAndre Jordan, right? He just all right, just go up and get it, big fella. But he's not as tall though. That's the
Mhm.
problem, and that's why I'm a little hesitant to really be enamored with him as I am with James Wiseman.
Mhm.
But there's a lot to like here. But he's just raw everywhere. That's why I compared
Yeah.
him to Amir Johnson. Same height, same
Mm.
weight. It's more give or take a few pounds here and there. But yeah, just a guy who can just go up and get it because yeah, he does have leaping ability. He's
Mhm.
not just a stone. He's not a statue. He can actually move around. So that's to like. But what's going to happen when he does face like a 7 foot talented player that is going to bang with him down low? Is he going to get overpowered? Is his leaping ability going to be enough to uh, protect the rim for any of these teams? Uh, I mean, if he goes to the Hornets and Cody Zeller's still there, being the statue, then it might work. But they both play center, so who knows how that is going to fit well. I, basically, I don't see both of those players being on the floor at the same time too much. Is what I'm trying to
Mhm.
say here.
No, absolutely not.
Right. You look at John Collins, you look at Blake Griffin type. They were high explosive jumpers. They eventually gained uh, mid-range, extended their range to the three-point line. So with some time and some work, maybe in 2-3 years, he'll extend his range out to the three-point line, add to his game, and be that top 5 pick.
Mhm.
Mhm. And that's always the promise, right, Leon? And that's always the hope. But unfortunately, that's not how it works in the NBA, right? You only get. I mean, it used to be, and this is for any sport. You used to get like 5 years to look back at a draft and really evaluate things and you give yourself some time. But and it's somehow along the way, it's not like two. It's now like 2 or 3 years. Like you better have a hit on your plate here with these players. And even then, 3 years might be too long. Like 3 years, you might get traded to, I don't know, to Memphis or something. And that, now you're competing with other players just like you who have failed elsewhere. That's where the big men go to die, it seems like. I don't know. Memphis is the first team. Or worse, the Pelicans. At least they have Lonzo Ball, right? But for how long? So it's no, it sucks, and that's one of these things that's so intriguing about the NBA draft for me every year is that you get excited for these rookies. You watch them on draft night, and they get all excited, and they get their name called up, and they're in tears, and they got parents and coaches to thank, and it's a wonderful. I mean, I never miss it. It's like I told my wife, it's the Emmys, the Grammys, the Oscars, the MTV Awards, and the final season of Lost rolled into one. That's why I don't bother me Wednesday night next Wednesday because I'm gonna watch. But then reality hits, right?
Mhm.
They're gonna be facing guys in their second or third year who already have an advantage just by being there already, 2-3 years already into the game. And yeah, this like I said, Okongwu has great athletic skills. Sorry, athletic attributes, but he better develop some ball handling skills. He better develop some moves in the post. Otherwise, he's going to get eaten alive by some of these more seasoned veterans.
Mhm.
Absolutely. At number 6, one of my favorites, Obi Toppin from Dayton.
Sure.
Explosive dunker, really came on late in the season. The March Madness being canceled really, I don't know if it hurt him or if it helped him, uh,
I
but
think it hurt him, Leon. I
Yeah,
think it
it,
really hurt him.
because he could have been in top 3
I was seeing him go number one in a lot of these mock drafts during the
early.
spring. Number one
Mhm.
player in the league, especially with NBADraft.net.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was a number one player. And then I look last couple of weeks, and he's now dropping to number 6. Like, what happened here? And he might have gotten exposed from too much time off, maybe. I don't know.
Could be. But yeah, go ahead, Leon.
Oh no, so it's listed 6'9", 220. Played center in college. He obviously won't play that in the NBA, but uh, comparisons to Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon came in much like Blake Griffin, a dunker, and he extended his range out to the three-point line after 2-3 years. Kenyon Martin, who I loved, big dunker, explosive to the rim. I like his game. You can see him going from anywhere to 1 to 5, fit any team. There's a lot to like about Obi Toppin. I think he's NBA ready.
Oh yeah, body is there. Yeah, broad shoulders. He's actually, Brooklyn guy. So I'm kind of good to hear that. But he's really skilled, and he's just. I think he shot 40% from three. Um, and he reminds me, Kenyon Martin. I like that comp too. A little bit of Amari Stoudemire. Amari had those wide shoulders, and he wasn't the prototypical four because he can actually. It was a mismatch because he was really quick and his footwork was really good. I can see Obi getting there and being an impact player right away. But granted, the right system. That's how, as you know, that's how it usually goes. You get put in the right system, you're gonna flourish no matter where you are. Um, like I said, the modern day four, knock down the three. 2 or 3 3-pointers a game. I can see it happening, and I want to see where he's gonna go. Cleveland will be really interesting since Kevin Love, you know, probably will get traded.
Mm.
I can see it happening because you got to move on now. I mean, somebody will take him. He still can shoot. He's a good leader. I mean, when he's healthy, he's a good leader on the floor. Good veteran. Still can get you a double per game if he stays on the floor. But Obi, yeah, he's a good one. That's another one I like really watch play, and he impressed me.
And Obi staying in Ohio, how there? He's out of Dayton, will stay in
There you
Cleveland.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
why
story
not?
there. Yeah.
Definitely. Good kid too. Knees
Number
crack.
7, Detroit has that pick. We see here Isaac Okoro, out of Auburn, defensive wizard, uh, really bad shooter in college, but looking to be a 3-and-D type guy. See a comparison here to Stanley Johnson or Karan Butler.
Tough juice.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on Isaac Okoro?
Damn, Stanley Johnson. That hurt.
I like Stanley Johnson. I
I'm
liked
going.
him coming out of college too,
I
man.
know, man, but I'm crying in the corner. Somebody comp me to him. I'm just, damn. Good
Well, I mean,
Lord.
same height, same weight.
That is
Stanley
true.
Johnson. I think the reason I put him up here is because he averaged double digits last year.
Yeah,
If memory serves me right.
oh yeah, he definitely came on. I think what didn't help him was just not a lot of playing time.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, he was the man in Arizona, and some players just can't take it when you're the man at one place, and then you go to another, and you're just another guy on the bench, and you're just like, damn, that it hurts.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
Okoro, he definitely, I won't say Karan Butler because Karan Butler can actually, once again, he can shoot. He could shoot. So you can't really, but Stanley Johnson, I that's actually fair now that I think about it. But, he's going to be an elite defender. And, defense always transfers from college to the NBA. If you can play defense there, that means you got the footwork and versatility on the floor to keep in front of other, the offensive players. And Okoro, if he can get a nice little shot, shoot 45%, I would say he could be, yeah, I could say a Karan Butler. It could be there, but he can be
I'm
a good
sorry.
player.
And just to correct myself, no, Stanley Johnson had a horrible year last year. I don't know what I
Really?
was thinking,
I thought
but
he actually was okay.
apparently he only averaged 2.4 points.
Oh,
I think the reason I compared him to Stanley Johnson is because of the bad 3-point shooting there, Jacob.
there you go.
So yeah,
Okay.
actually bad shooter all over. 2-point percentage is bad. Everything's bad
Oh,
about Stanley Johnson. So
oh.
that's what I see out of Bicycle Coro, unfortunately.
Hey, you had me all shocked, and I was like, wait, he did good. Okay, I'll
Yeah,
give him
I don't know what the
props.
hell I was thinking. I'm sorry, guys. I dropped the ball there. But actually, it's
Or
Coro dropped the ball for being a terrible 3-point shooter to be compared to Stanley Johnson here.
yes, I'm tired. Sit in the corner. Sit in the corner. But, but yeah, Okoro, elite defender. You know, he could be uh maybe a Tony Allen kind of guy if he learns a shot.
Mm.
Lockdown. I mean, Ruben Patterson. You know, Kobe stopper, Kobe stopper, Kobe stopper. Ah, yeah, that.
Everybody needs a Kobe stopper, bro.
I mean, you have to. Hey, isn't that wrong playing a little bit of defense? But yeah, that's
And with the number 7 pick, it's that's Detroit. I doubt they take another Stanley Johnson. So
they picking.
yeah,
They picking.
it sounds like Killian Hayes going there.
For sure.
Why? They got Derrick Rose over there. Why would you pick Killian Hayes? Don't do that to D Rose, man.
Hey.
This
Career
is me being
resurgence.
this is me being enthusiastic about Derrick Rose.
We all know how you feel about Derrick Rose.
No, I don't think you guys do. I play hard for my city because they can't watch me play all the time, so I play hard for them. Unless you got to go to Los Angeles, then.
Hey, that bank shot though, will live forever in his face. The stone face, that man.
At number 8, Tyrese Halliburton from Iowa State. We had some video on him in group. Really weird looking shot, but it is pretty good.
I'll take this one.
Over 38%.
Mm-hmm.
Can't create his own shot, a little scrawny, but a potential 3-and-D player. The comparison to Seth Curry.
Shit. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. that just blurted out. I'm sorry. Actually, for the Knicks, I think they're high on him. I will say I was high on Halliburton because I watched him a lot last year till he got hurt. The shot is funky, but it goes in, and he is actually one of the most rounded players in the draft after really doing research on him. And he's a good defensive player. You know who he reminds me of? Well, look why. He reminds me of Kevin Ollie. I don't know why, but he reminds me of Kevin Ollie. But he's going to be better. And I wouldn't mind it because we need all the help. When you talk about needs, everything. But like I said, 6'5", he can grow into his body. He can, get up to about 190 to 200 pounds and he'll still be good. But creating your own shot for a point guard, it would be nice to have. But with RJ, he's an actual, he's a slasher. You need somebody that can hit through. We had no point guards that could shoot. All right, Dennis Smith couldn't shoot. Payton damn sure couldn't shoot. Who else? Who else in their mama on that team couldn't shoot? Everybody. All right, nobody could shoot. And you put him in there. If he can knock down 38, 39%, I'm happy with that. And he can maybe be the franchise point guard. I'm not throwing anything out there, but it's possible. But Tyrese Halliburton, will I be mad? No, but I'm still a Cole Anthony fan. I don't care what anybody says. Every Knick fan can get on me this. I like Cole Anthony over him because I think that kid has it. And then when he's killing it, on Boston or something like that, I don't want to hear it. But that's all I have to say about that in my Forrest Gump voice.
No, there's a lot to like about Tyrese Halliburton. Yeah, I don't know why I put Seth Curry, probably because of his shooting ability. And then when they project him to be a secondary ball handling 3-and-D player, I just like, well, I mean, Seth Curry, I guess. I mean, they're both kind of light, so to speak, even though they're kind of tall. Although Seth, I failed to realize that he's a lot shorter than 6'5". He's actually 6'2". So maybe that's not the correct comparison. Dante Exum is what NBADraft.net is going with, which I don't see that either. I don't understand how that's possible, but I think I like the Exum comparison more than I do my Seth Curry comparison. But everything I read about Tyrese Halliburton is that he is a shooter. Like he can shoot undeniable range. And so if he's going to be just there to be, standing on the 3-point line, waiting for the ball to come back to him so he can shoot the rock, then I think that's why I had him as Seth Curry. But yeah, as you can see, he struggles in the half court, can't create his own offense. So kind of like Seth Curry, right? You just kind of need someone else to facilitate for him, and I think that's why I did that comparison. But I'm kind of second guessing myself at that pick because of the height differential. So
It's hard. It's hard to really compare these players because you're just
yeah,
like, and plus when you don't see enough of their games, it's just like, oh, how can you really do this? But no, I can see a Steph Curry, man. If, like, listen, your name Curry, you can shoot. All right, that's it. That's how that works.
Dell. I mean, maybe Dell Curry would be the better comparison.
Hey, man, all daddy taught was jumpers. I say that for a reason. But yeah, I like him. I like that kid. He can be a good one.
What was I gonna say? No, so we'll see if he can like add some more bulk and more weight because that's for a lot of these short guys. I mean, he's 6'5", but for a lot of these guys, their demise is that they can't pack any more pounds, and coaches have short leashes on those guys. Like, all right, if you're gonna get pushed around on defense, then get on the bench. I'll put in some scrub who can't score, who's not a fluid athlete, but at least he won't embarrass me on defense. So that's always the risk with these types of players.
And you know how Tibbs is. You
Oh,
know better than anybody else about defense. And that's what I say about him. Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna run him to the ground. Yeah, I won't say that yet. But this team needs to get tougher, and that's the perfect coach. And that's what if you watch the Knicks and with their coaching and how they play with no toughness at all, no whatsoever. It wasn't existent, and I wanted this for a long time. And I'm happy. I'm just like, yeah, not run the kids into the ground, but make them play their ass off. Make them play. You gotta listen. You say he didn't coach Jimmy Butler. He damn sure did because I think without Thibodeau, you wouldn't see Butler playing like the way he is, damn near about to die. But he's carrying his team on his back, and sometimes the toughest coaches they help you with that.
I'm just saying he didn't give him enough playing time until Luol Deng he couldn't stand on his legs anymore. I used to ask Bulls fans all the time, hey, especially when he got traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers, I used to ask him all the time, how old do you think Luol Deng is? And they would tell me, I don't know, 32, 33 years old. No, he got traded at the age of 29, and he was already done. That's a Tibbs factor.
Hey, he got that big contract.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I'll give him that. Eventually, he got that big contract.
Absolutely. Still a good player, though. Give him that.
Number 9, Patrick Williams out of Florida State. Listed 6'8", 225, 7-foot wingspan, good with speed, good shooter, real high upside pick. Still learning the game a bit. Projected to be a 3-and-D combo forward, Jeff Green or OG Anunoby. Guys watched a lot of Pat Williams, Florida State. What's your thoughts on the number 9 projected pick?
He's really good. Yeah, I do like that Jeff Green pick because Jeff Green at Georgetown was a 3-and-D guy, and that was spot on, Felipe. That was money right there.
I'll tell you
really.
What, Jacob, I used to shit on these comparisons on TV on ESPN, but doing it for myself I have learned to appreciate what these guys go through to try to get a comparison out. Sometimes they're like way out of nowhere, right? I can't think of any good examples, but I remember Jalen Rose did one that was so dumb that I just threw my remote at the TV. But after doing this exercise myself, it's pretty damn difficult. Like you mentioned before, it's pretty damn difficult to come up with that right comparison. And Jeff Green, like you mentioned, at one time was going to be that guy for the Thunder. Remember, the big three was Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, Jeff Green.
That's definitely, that's a good one because he had the strength, and Jeff Green had a lot of strength. Good athlete. Jeff Green was a great athlete, in his younger days. His wingspan is there. He's just all good around. Like, he just has to, like I say, raw. He's young. A lot of them, your offense will be raw. And, once he gets on a team like maybe like a San Antonio, if he can get there, that's somewhere you want to go because you'll learn there. And with Florida State, with their offense, it wasn't really just one core guy. It was a team effort. Like a guy, one more on the list, Devin Vassell, that's his teammate. They both ran off each other. They didn't put up big numbers, but they had an all-around game that you can use, and they could be successful because they were good core guys that you can just put in any system, and they will flourish. So Patrick Williams, though, that's another good one, and I'll take a Jeff Green on my team any day because Hart is man, he had it. He has it still. He's still
Well,
playing.
he had a replacement heart, right? Wasn't that the
hmm
thing with Jeff
Yeah,
Green?
he had heart surgery, and hey, look at him now. Nobody thought he would play again.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, but yeah, I like Patrick Williams though. That's a good one.
Number 9, projected team, the Washington Wizards. They have a number 9 pick.
Whew, boy, oh boy. I don't know about all of that.
Ooh,
Yeah.
wow, yeah.
Number 10 pick is Phoenix. Here on the list is Killian Hayes.
Next.
6'5", 192 guard out of France. Strong frame, good athlete, very creative passer, and I'm a big fan of lefties, but he's not explosive, and tends to take a back seat with inconsistent defense. So comparisons to D'Angelo Russell and Kirk Heinrich.
My guy.
What's your thoughts on Killian Hayes?
I got this one, Felipe. Let
You
me get
mentioned
this.
you want this one?
Yeah, go ahead. Take it. I got some.
I was just gonna mention that you guys mentioned the Spurs. They're at number 11. Wouldn't that be something if Popovich gets another kid from France to be his point guard of the future? He's not gonna like the lack of defense, though, I'll tell you that much. But I like this kid a lot. I remember I read about him over the summer. I just read that the Bulls were gonna get him, and even though we got Kobe White last year, I got super excited when I saw Killian Hayes' name show up. But of course, that's not gonna happen for the Bull, and especially if Killian his draft stock keeps dropping. So I think the Spurs would be a better fit at this point, just because of the just because he'll be any player that goes to Greg Popovich, if they could survive him and his mind games and the screaming, you might have something here. I mean, it seems like Popovich turns these scrubs into productive players, and that's something, right? But yeah, man, if he could just boy, oh boy, if he could just prove that he wasn't a fluke in France, that he wasn't just taking advantage of the low level talent down in Europe, that would be something. If he could just continue to progress with his under the rim skill levels or talents or attributes, that would be something. I mean, you could see a special player here. And that's why I got him compared to D'Angelo Russell, because I also like D'Angelo Russell. I thought he had a pretty raw deal. I mean, he did it to himself, but he had a pretty raw deal in Los Angeles. And now you're seeing what he did after Los Angeles, and he became this poor man's version of James Harden. And I'm not saying that Killian Hayes would be close to it, but if he could, I mean, they're both left-handed. You might, I mean, any team that picks him up in this spot after the top 10, I mean, that's a hell of a pick right there. I don't know why. I have an idea why NBA went with Kirk Heinrich, but remember, Kirk Heinrich was the only player in that draft class in his rookie year with LeBron James, D Wade, and Carmelo Anthony to record a triple-double.
Yes, sir.
So there you go.
I love Kirk Heinrich.
Yeah, me too. Go ahead.
That was my guy. But Killian Hayes, it seems like we got another 6'5" kid from France not too long ago, but he plays defense. But I mean, I give him Frank can play some defense now, but I'm just trying to figure out. You picked this guy because I know he was projected to go to the Knicks. There's another one I saw where he was projected to go to the Knicks, but you got another young kid from France trying to learn the NBA game. I don't know how that would work. I think that's why I kind of lean toward Halliburton because he played in a college system and he's more NBA ready, I think. But I let him go to the Spurs. That's a better spot for him. But yeah, he's too many. He's quick. D'Angelo Russell, I don't know. I don't. D'Angelo, he can. Oh man, How was Killian? I don't know. This is kind of tough because I'm trying to think. I've saw a few clips of him, and his shooting was decent. But
Yeah.
D'Angelo, I mean, he's no D'Angelo Russell, but
No, but that's my hope. That's how much I like him. Like, hey, I'm not even looking at the negatives with him because if you guys know me, I'm a very negative, moody person. That's how much I like this Killian Hayes kid. It's like, hey, D'Angelo Russell. Meanwhile, just Tyrese Halliburton. Who was my comp? It was Seth Curry. so that should tell you all you need to know about how much I like this kid, and I'm probably gonna get torched in the future when people see this. But there's a lot to like here from my viewpoint. I mean,
oh no, for sure, absolutely.
Yeah, the 6'5", 192, I believe, if memory serves me right, I think I did that because D'Angelo Russell has similar height and weight. D'Angelo Russell 6'4", 193. This guy's 6'5", 192. Give or take an inch. So yeah. But yeah, he does lack a little bit of athleticism. But D'Angelo Russell, last I checked, he wasn't like this dunker or this this high leaper. What he does have is a lot of skill, which Killian Hayes will hopefully, for any of these teams, like the Spurs, will get there one day. But I mean, that's the game you play in this NBA draft, isn't it? You're hoping that they become close to their comparisons.
For sure.
Yeah, what you make up for with athleticism, you usually use craftiness. That's how most lefties work.
Yep.
That's true. Good point.
Number 10, I believe, was Phoenix. Number 11 is San Antonio. And here we have Devin Vassell, Pat Williams' teammate from Florida State. Great length, disrupts offense, very good shooter. And he has potential to improve his shot creating skills. But can he add to his frame, defensive awareness, backdoors, and lack explosiveness? Comparisons to Justin Holiday and Kelly Oubre, who turned out to be pretty serviceable NBA players in their own right. Devin Vassell, what's your thoughts here?
Vassell, it's another one of those in this draft. That's a common theme. 3-and-D. He is a 3-and-D guy. He can shoot. He was over 40% as well in college. Not being the main guy, he was in a nice system at Florida where they spread the ball around a lot. And he could make it. He created a few on some possessions. He can create his own shot here and there. They just need him to do it more. And plus, in that system, you didn't have to do that. But he can definitely shoot. Defense is on point. He can be an elite defender. And just like Miles Bridges, he's another one. Just like Miles Bridges, he can lock you down. He can shoot a nice clip from three actually, and that's pretty much it for that kid. I mean, I saw like a few games. It wasn't a lot of him either, but I knew I saw the game where, oh man, what was it? I forgot how many threes he hit, but other than that, just another 3-and-D player. Nothing too flashy about him, and he is intriguing, but nothing I haven't seen before. I mean,
He'd be a great fit in San Antonio too, and like
see, everybody.
Yeah. No, but him especially because I mean, Spurs would have to deal with Derek White, DeMar DeRozan. Although DeRozan is listed as a small forward out of necessity, but Devin Vassell as a shooting guard of the future for the Spurs. I mean, he might that might be a good fit for him after all. Otherwise, he might go to what are we looking at here? The Kings maybe, but they got a guy over there. Yeah, so that's not gonna work. The Saints, the Pelicans maybe. So,
what do they have? Well, they got a lot of shooters.
12 is Sacramento, 13 is the Pelicans, 14 is Boston.
I don't think he's going to Boston.
Nah.
I don't think Boston takes him. And the Pelicans have Ball and Holiday and Brandon Ingram, but yeah, this kid would be screwed. He'd be buried in the depth chart of the Pelicans. If this roster is correct here on ESPN as I'm looking at it. But, so yeah, this is the black hole now, isn't it? This you're outside the top 10, and now your prospects of doing anything in this league are dropping. So So good luck to this kid as he's in like a no man's land.
Mm-hmm.
Number 12, pick from Sacramento. Sacramento pick here. Here we have listed Precious Chua.
Bless you.
James James Wiseman's teammate from Memphis. Power forward, great physical attributes, defensive versatility, but very raw and really needs to improve his offensive game. Comparisons here to Josh Smith and Mo Harkless. What you guys got here?
Precious. Well, when Wiseman went down, he stepped into the limelight on the team, and he is like a premier run and jump athlete. He can get up there. He's tough, and he reminds me of more of a Harrell, pretty much, Montrezl Harrell. He can run up and down the floor. Shows lots of energy. He's not a good ball handler at all. I mean, but nah, he can definitely is much to be desired on defense, but he can work on that. He shot actually 32% from three, which isn't bad for him. I mean, you got to take that. He averaged a double double when Wiseman went down while he left or whatever. He averaged 15 and 10. So he even blocked almost 2 shots a game. So hey, you can get a diamond in the rough. He was one of my actual picks to be one of the most underrated ones in the draft. You didn't know he has the skill, but whatever system he goes into, hopefully he can go to the ones that actually he can thrive in. But I like him. He's another one that can make a dent in the league. Get a nice little reserve spot and put up some nice numbers off the bench and give a young team or a contending team a boost.
I like him a lot, man. Again, I'm a sucker for these type of players, these freakish athletic players. And the thing that sucks about him is that he is so raw from what I hear. But, I mean, I like him enough to compare him to Josh Smith, who was one of my favorite prospects coming up way back in the day. I don't know. Him and J.R. Smith, they went back-to-back, I believe, won one draft. And for a long time, I couldn't differentiate between the two because, J. Smith. But Josh Smith, I mean, at one point, remember, he wasn't unless my memory is really fading right here, but I believe Josh Smith was in the dunk contest a couple of times, wasn't
Yes.
he?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, shoot. And yeah, and just like, Josh Smith, his big Waterloo, so to speak, was the ill-advised shots that he would take, sloppy ball. That's why I'm like, hey, well, he's basically Josh Smith, and Josh Smith lasted a very long time in this league. Just because of his athleticism, and it just seemed to fade a little bit slower than the normal. So, but yeah, there's a lot to like with this kid in terms of the physical attributes. But like you mentioned, there's a lot to be concerned here with the skill aspect of things here.
At number 13, Pelicans pick in this spot. Here we have Aaron Nesmith from Vanderbilt. Good physical profile, above average athlete, projected to be the best shooter in the draft. Well, he played against weak opponents in college. Average ball handler, more catch and shoot guy. Comparisons to Latrell Sprewell and Robert Covington. What you guys have for Aaron Nesmith?
Man, he let's see, I gotta load it up with this one. Gun smoke, because he is a gunner. He is a damn gunner. He hit 4 threes per. Yeah, it was, man. This kid, like, you get him off, and especially the NBA, how the floor spacing is a lot, better. You get him off those screens and get him open looks. This kid is gonna light you up. What I have, basically one of the most prolific scorers in the country, and then he go to what did he go? Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
They produce some pretty good shooters, and 52% from three. 52. I mean, that's lovely right there, man. Who wouldn't want that on their team? Especially the Pelicans. You got a shooter like JJ. Ingram can fill it up. I mean, they have shooters everywhere. Frank Jackson. I call him the Duke squad because they got like 80 people from Duke. That team is going to be deadly. I know he only played 14 games, but still, imagine for a whole season. You never know what he could have done, and he could have been in the top 10. You know, so he definitely fits that role for JJ. If he decides to opt out in the season, he can fill right in there. And New Orleans, man, new coach. I mean, new philosophy, getting more, just a lot. Just put him on the floor with Lonzo. He'll find you. He'll find you for some open shots. Um, so you put him there if, like Felipe said, if Alonzo stays. So because he might be out of there soon. But even if he does, Neesmith could be in there and he can put something on teams that they. I can't wait to see him in the league. Though he's another one I can't wait.
I see him falling to the Magic. The more I look at these teams, the Magic don't really have a real small forward, and
Mm-hmm.
if this kid can step in, I mean, there's a lot to like about him.
Mm-hmm.
He's also one of my favorite players of this draft because the guy is like you mentioned, he's a gunner. He's a machine gun Naismith here. I mean, he almost sounds like he invented the game of basketball. This kid did. But I mean, the reason I compared him to Latrell Sprewell was number one, I just wanted to go back in time and just look at other players who were kind of similar, height, weight, can shoot, and let his shot off in so many ways. I think about Latrell Sprewell. The intangibles and leadership, that's not so much Latrell Sprewell,
Oh,
especially in his Golden State days. Although, I mean, hey, with the Knicks, he helped them go to the NBA Finals one year.
Yeah, he was fun. He was fun to watch.
I mean, how bad could Sprewell's intangibles be after all, right? But this to me, the strengths, that's a 10-year veteran right there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just the shot alone is going to put him in this. Theoretically speaking, this should put this kid on a path to 10 years in this league, at the very worst as a journeyman.
Yep.
So I mean, being compared to Robert Covington isn't a small. That's not small potatoes either, man. If you play fantasy, I mean, you learn to appreciate Robert Covington's productivity because he could do it all. So yeah, there's a lot to like here, but I think the problem here is that the teams that are in this vicinity, the Kings, the Pelicans, the Grizzlies, sorry, the Celtics, that's not a good fit for this Nesmith kid. The Magic, though, they could use a guy like him.
Yeah, they can. They need some shooters. They need
That's
them.
right.
But yeah, I like that kid though.
Yeah, shooters do last in the league. You look at Kyle Korver, you look at
JJ
Redick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they last forever, and you know, Joe Harris made himself a name, and Duncan Robinson. So, shooters shoot. It's universal. Go to number 14. This pick is with Boston. They're looking to really trade all of their picks for a star.
They should.
Preferably for some front court help. So we'll see where that goes. But here listed at number 14 is R.J. Hampton. Coming from overseas, from New Zealand, 6'5", 188, quick combo guard. Really needs to improve his three-point shot. But poor free throw shooter. It's like Ben Simmons. The combo guard in the comparisons of Jarrett Culver and another Dante Exum comparison, which you guys have for R.J. Hampton.
That's fair.
They love the NBADraft.net. That's like their go-to. When in doubt, just compare him to Dante Exum. All the time. All the time. Go ahead.
It works because he can't shoot. I mean, he doesn't really do anything that great on the floor. Yeah, he's quick and explosive. So is Dante Exum. Now, he's quick. I mean, that would mean he could put the ball in the hoop. I mean, you know who he reminds me of? This kid, but without the quick and explosive, Emmanuel Mudiay. Because R.J. Hampton was supposed to be a top 5 pick, and his stock dropped. I mean, he was top 10 easily, but I guess his workout, like the workouts that people saw with his shot, can't play defense, and he has to work on a lot of stuff. That's all I can really say about this kid. And you don't have a lot of elite defenders in this draft, and he damn sure he's way far away from that.
The Jarrett Culver comparison comes with the fact that I know that they don't play the same position, but Culver's 6'6", 195. He's a god-awful three-point shooter.
Yeah, he's trash.
He shot 29.9% from the three-point line. So yeah, that's a concern right there. But
Mm-hmm.
he's supposed to be a point guard. He's supposed to have a nice set of skills that allows him to play both point guard and shooting guard. So we'll see what he can come up with. I mean, he's fast, so that's a plus.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you don't have a 3-point shot in today's NBA game, what good are you at this point, right?
Yeah, you better get a freaking mid-range game or something.
Something.
But damn, yeah. Well, that's it for RJ Hampton, folks. he might stay over there.
At number 15, this is Orlando's pick. Here we have Tyrese Maxey, shooting guard out of Kentucky. Real size, real strength, can really play either guard position. Instinctive scorer, not very fast, but he struggles to create for himself. Streaky shooter, I guess like a Terrence Ross type. Two-way combo guard, Darius Garland, Coutinho Mobley comparisons.
Yeah, I was this close to using Coutinho Mobley for myself here, and then I just went, let's go back to modern times. Let's go with Darius Garland, and then sure enough, NBA Draft Out Now uses Coutinho Mobley. Like, damn it, that was my pick. I shouldn't have doubted myself. But yeah, man, there's again a lot to like here from a guard out of Kentucky. You gotta love those guards from Kentucky. John Wall, Brandon Knight was Brandon Knight one of those guys?
I believe he went to Kentucky too.
Okay. So somewhere in between is Tyrese Maxey, right? So yeah, I mean, he looks the part. He looks the part, and you gotta like a guard this small that can just be willing to put himself out there and score. He's cocky, he's tough on defense, but he does have limited skills. He does have limited ability to create for others. So. He has his work cut off for him in that regard. And like I said, at only 6'3", you know that these NBA coaches, well, if you're not gonna put buckets in, if you're not gonna put the ball through the hoop, then what good are you? Because you're technically undersized at 6'3". So.
Oh yeah, and he basically started off his year with a bang. I don't know if you guys remember, is when he scored 26 at the Garden to take down Michigan State, which they were number 1 at the time. So his stock was already risen right there. And because coming out of AAU, he was a big name. You heard about Tyrese Maxey a lot. And Kentucky, they just produce guy after guy after guy, and then we get Kevin Knox, and then guy after guy after guy, and that's just how it goes. But his consistency might kill him, and might actually derail how good he can be. So let's see if he can keep it, get the shot up, shoot around. You have to shoot. For you to be considered like a really good player, you got to shoot around 45%, 46%. But he can get to the rack. He's not afraid of anything. He's fearless, and I like his game because he shows a lot of enjoyment when he plays the game. Watching him play, you could tell every minute he's out there, he's loving it, and I love to watch players like that. So if he develops his point guard skills a little bit, floor vision a little bit better, he can be a top 20 point guard. You never know. But and that also to work out with LeBron and AD I think that helped his stock a little bit too.
Yep.
Anything with LeBron's gonna get ratings, of course.
And Leon, do you mind if we talk about Cole Anthony and then I know you only want to be top 15, but I know I only want to bring up Cole Anthony because Jacob's been bringing him up earlier, and I know like in the group a lot of Knicks fans bring him up a lot too. So, but and then whatever after that.
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead, Leon.
So at number 16 ranked Cole Anthony, my guy from Carolina. Very aggressive, very confident scorer. I mean, elite scorer at the point guard position, but his problem was his shot selection, his 3-point, and his defense. He lacked a lot of supporting help in Carolina, which I thought led to his poor shot selection. But his comparison here to Avery Bradley or Mo Williams.
As hell.
Yeah. I kind of like the Mo Williams.
Yeah, Mo Williams. Yeah, that other one. God damn. Avery Bradley. Boy, he plays defense.
That's all me right there.
Man, don't ever do that again. No, but Avery Bradley, I can see because of his size, so I can see where you would get it. but Avery Bradley is a way better defensive player. But Cole Anthony, I just think he has it. You know, he has the air about him because he's a New Yorker. Yeah, you damn right. I'm going to be biased. It's right there in Queens. Yeah, where he used to ball out over there. His dad, you know, man. All right, let me calm down. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, he's a good player, man. He actually gets to the rim. You know, he tried to play hero ball a little bit too much, but I think he got the raw end of a deal because he tried to, you know, lift a horrible UNC team over the hump. And a lot of the times he just couldn't do it. Then he hurt his knee, which made it worse. And then he dropped down. But I think if he gets, hopefully he gets on a team where he can show what he can do. You know, I know I was high on him. I thought he was gonna, get to the Knicks, but I think he's dropping fast. And I don't know. I just really hope he gets to a team where he can show what he can do because I think that kid can be really good.
By the way, my comparison to Avery Bradley does come from the fact that they're both 6'3".
I thought
Bradley
so.
a little bit smaller at only 180 pounds, and
Mm,
Cole Anthony is listed at 190. But
mm,
the other reason I put him up there is because Bradley last year shot 33.3% from the three-point arc, which put him on the bottom half of players of his height and weight.
mm,
As you know, just by comparison, the top guy in this height and weight was Cameron Payne at 51.7%. It was a wacky year last year, but
mm,
yeah,
Jeez.
that it's the lack of three ball is what really uh, pushed me to compare him to Avery Bradley. Whether for better or for worse, that was the best I can do with a guy who is this small and needs to have a better 3-point shot. And like I mentioned, that's the theme. Like if you don't have a 3-point shot, it's like you're gonna struggle to make a name for himself. But one thing I do like about Cole Anthony is that he does have that ability to create his own shot. He
mm,
has a good pull-up game with range. That's gonna be super helpful for him. And he's a competitor on defense, just like Avery Bradley was. And I think that's the other reason why I was inspired to go with Avery Bradley here. I mean, Mo Williams, I think that's a little bit of a reach by NBADraft.net, but again, when in doubt, just compare a player to Mo Williams, and you'll be fine in this draft class.
mm.
I'm telling. I
Yeah,
was pretty darn close. There was about 4 or 5 guys who I'm like, that's Mo Williams. No, that's Mo Williams. I was pretty close myself, so I really had to challenge myself to not use the same guy over and over again, because it's pretty tempting to do so in this draft class,
Hmm.
especially with point guards and other combo guards as well.
For sure.
yeah, and like Jacob mentioned, I think he does have that it factor. He does have that star capability. It just like he said, getting in the right situation. I think it's going to be a very good value pick if he's dropped this far.
Yeah, and he might go to Dallas or Brooklyn or
Please God,
Miami.
no. I'd rather see him in Miami than Brooklyn.
I mean, if he goes to Miami, that's good. But if he goes to Portland, he's gonna get buried.
Oh yeah, he.
There's just no
Yeah,
way.
Yeah, he ain't.
And with the Timberwolves, you have him paired up with D'Angelo Russell and whatever player they decide to draft, which is most likely going to be a guard from what it sounds like. Or what do you guys
Mhm.
think? You think the Timberwolves are going to go for a
I
guard or
I
not?
I can see them doing that, going another guard, so they'll have somebody to give D'Angelo a break. And but yeah, I can see him going guard. It makes sense.
Or what if they decide that they are going to drop down and chase Devin Booker? Now you got Devin Booker, D'Angelo Russell. Oh, and Cole Anthony is your number one drafted player. If you're lucky to even keep a first round draft pick, depending on what the Suns are asking for.
Yeah, if they decide to do it, they going for it all. Just move them to Seattle too. By the way,
Oh
um,
God.
but yeah, no, I have a big thing about their owner. I'm not a fan. That's
Yeah, I know, I know.
nah, I'm not feeling that guy. But yeah, I can see them if they go after Booker and they get him. That means they're going for it, and that would be really interesting to see. But they do need guards off the bench though. They because Culver, I don't know, he he has a lot that he has to improve on. Malik Beasley got himself. The reason why I'm saying a guard because Malik Beasley got into some trouble, some legal trouble, and it's really serious. So we don't know what his position is going to be. So and plus he was getting ready to actually get a deal, like a good nice little 4-year, 5-year deal maybe, because he broke out this season or last season, and I don't know, he may have ruined that. I don't get it. Damn shame.
Yeah, all that stuff is going to be really interesting to watch. See you have on our list 17 to 45. Hopefully Felipe can come back with us next week. We'll have a live watch of the draft together, go over some of these players while we're either celebrating or booing the teams of the players selected.
I already have a bad feeling about the Bulls here. I have a really bad feeling. They're gonna go with the kid from Israel, and I'm gonna be so underwhelmed. And it's just not exciting. I mean, if James Wiseman somehow miraculously falls down to number 4, and the Bulls don't get him, I'm gonna be not upset, but just
Oh, you'll be upset.
No, not upset, because I understand. I understand why they did it, why they had to do it that way. And I mentioned they already have Wendell Carter and they have Lauri Markkanen, so there's really no space for this guy. But you make space for him, right? You just find a way to get him out there and put him in the second unit and just have him block shots. But the counter argument is you already have Wendell Carter for that. So I don't know. It's not every situation is built the same way, as you guys know. Some teams can afford to draft best player available regardless of position, and other teams are good with drafting need. The Bulls, they don't. They're stuck in the middle somewhere. Either way, they're too awful to pick any philosophy to work. But in this situation, it makes sense for them to pick that small forward. Let's go back up to the number 4 guy, Denny Avdija from Israel. It makes sense, but they already had Thad Young on this team, and it's like it didn't work out too well. And I don't know what this kid's gonna do with a new league, faster game for him, and he has no left hand. So we'll see how that works.
Well, they're gonna have a tall squad though. Jeez.
Hey, well, I mean,
size.
at least it's something, right? But they always have a tall squad, and then they punch each other in the face, and then they get traded away. Nikola Mirotic and Bobby Portis. So.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, do you guys have any like sleeper picks? You think? I have a few. It's just if y'all want to go over.
How we doing on time, Leon?
Yeah, we doing.
We're almost hour 45 in.
Really?
I told you that was going to happen.
Crazy. That's crazy.
I told you. I mean, it's the NBA draft. This is what we've been waiting for all summer long. Was just for the NBA draft, because that basically kicks off the new season, which is going to start when? December 22nd. So.
Yep.
Yeah, we definitely.
Just you know what you should do, Leon? You should just pack it up and repackage it as a 2-hour special, right?
We could. But I'll definitely say my players right quick. I'll say look out for Tyrell Terry, Josh Green, and I have Jameis Ramsey. Those are my 3 that you need to look out for in the draft. So I
agree with Josh Green. I like Josh Green a lot. I like him. I really like him a lot, but it's same as the other players. No skill, but there's a lot to like about it in terms of like explosiveness, athleticism. I'm really excited to see where he falls. And
he's like Danny Green. He could be a Danny Green, 3-and-D player. Hopefully, he could be better, but
a lot better.
Yeah, that his damn performances in the finals and he wasn't green in this damn series.
No, I do like Ramsey. I like Cassius Winston as well.
Yes,
Michigan
that's
State.
your boy. That's your boy.
So one of the top point guards in the league.
I'm so sorry. I was gonna just mention before I forget. Isaiah Stewart is a very intriguing name as well.
Yes, they got him going to the Knicks at 27. That second pick, that 27th pick. Yeah, they got him going to the Knicks, and I like him. I like the physical dudes that will actually put their body into you and you just bully them. I like bully ball. We need to bring that back. Felipe, you said when you play ball, you play bully ball. Listen,
it was more out of necessity there.
That's fine. That's fine. I'd love to have you on my team, Felipe. Get down there and rebound.
Not with these knees, brother. Not with these knees. No.
I know how that goes. The knees are going.
Those knees are gone. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, Leon. I interrupted you. I do apologize. I just got excited when I saw Isaiah Stewart. You were saying over there after Cassius Winston.
Oh no, I was thinking he had a great year, senior year in Michigan State. Polished pick and roll point guard. and I think he will excel out the gate as a backup in the league. So I'm excited to see where he falls.
Hmm. Desmond Bain too.
Yeah,
He can shoot.
but
I'm trying to get this all out right now, man. I used to see all this stuff. Man, it's crazy. I'm like,
No, man, this is fun, man. This brings me back to like when you used to talk with your friends, and I'll probably stop sharing because it's we're getting distracted here. But but it's just like this brings me back to like when I was back in the city with my friends, and we just talk about the NBA draft and is it going to be Jason Kidd or Glenn Robinson or Grant Hill, and it's always a happy time for me, the NBA draft. I love talking about it. I love covering it. That's the one thing I miss. That's the one thing I miss. You guys hear an echo?
yeah.
Uh-oh. Oh, you. Hold on. Check. 1 2 1 2.
There you go.
I guess I accidentally unmuted myself. Sorry about that. So one thing it's this anticipation, right? I mean, I know that the NBA doesn't have is not as deep as the NFL draft or as deep as the Major League Baseball draft or as deep as the hockey draft, but there's a lot of intrigue because you're seeing there's no helmets. You're seeing the guys in raw emotion talent. Out there on the court, they wear their heart on the sleeves. They got nowhere to hide, and you saw these guys perform in the NCAA tournament. Not this year, but you've seen these guys perform in tournament style of play, whether it be conference championships or the field of 64, 65, how many teams they have, or in some of these European players, you saw them play big time basketball in grueling conditions. I don't know if you guys been reading how much different European basketball lifestyle is to the NBA, and it's like the difference between AAA baseball and Major League Baseball. It's there's no first private jets flying you to city to city. You're taking buses, and you're in a crowded arena with psychotic fans who treat these basketball games like soccer games.
Yep.
So no, there's a lot to love here, and I look forward to next week when we can all watch it together for sure.
Oh, for sure, that's gonna be good. Why do you think Luka got so good?
No, I mean, we just mentioned Tony Parker or Killian Hayes for you, you know. So yeah, I'm excited to see where these guys go, and then Leon, maybe you know this, but do you know if they're gonna have a summer camp? Not summer camp, the summer league this year, or are they gonna cancel that altogether? Oh man,
no,
they dropped it.
Oh, that sucks. I'm kind of disappointed there.
Yeah.
Gotta wait to see.
Like I said, there's not enough time in between with the month. That's why I thought they should have started MLK Day, but
exactly.
Then again, the logistics of it all, it would have been almost impossible.
Yeah, I get it. Like I said, we talked about. I get it, but I don't like it, but I get it.
But yeah, it's been fun having you on. Catch Total Bases podcast on Sunday mornings. 11 o'clock?
11 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Central. We try to get it in before football because I want to watch the Bears for some reason. And then talk to you guys about football and the Football Life group. We do have a Football Life group. Remember that? I guess who's up next? So Friday, I think Bushnell and Randy go again. Yep. Double duty for this week. I think they were on their bye week last week, so I believe I didn't hear that they were going to cancel this Friday. So I look forward to their previews for this upcoming Sunday. But yeah, our show we try to do it before NFL Sunday, and hopefully people get their baseball fix and their prospect fix, just like we talked about these prospects for the NBA. Sean and I are going to talk about more prospects for MLB. So if you're looking to see who's going to be playing tomorrow, tune in on Sunday.
Do it.
So yeah, if you guys are fans of any of the teams within the draft, we come on in and we'll watch the draft together. We'll get that pretty spreadsheet up on the board again, go over the prospects, and have some fun watching the draft. I think it's 7 o'clock next Wednesday.
I can't wait.
Either I'm gonna be real happy or pissed off. This year hasn't been well. We got a new owner, so the Mets got a new owner. So I'm happy. You can't. I am good. The Jets, I don't give a damn. We headed for the first pick. Maybe they'll fuck it up at the end of the season. But We're getting there. New owner. Just might get the first pick. Knicks still suck. James Dolan and Neil over. And so, hopefully,
They
hopefully.
did they did shut down for coronavirus. The only team in the league before it started.
See, uh, can we learn? Can you do anything right? But man. But hey, draft is finally here. We've been waiting for this. I mean, I've been ever since that eighth pick. It's been just irking me. So I was interested to see. There's a lot of talent out there. I know they don't. It's not top heavy as they call it, but I think there's a lot of talent that can have a lot of impact on this league, and we'll see. Next generation, hopefully stars.
Yeah, it's gonna be good stuff. Um, catch you here next Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Watch it all together. As Felipe said, Friday, Football Life, Randy, Matt Bushnell, The Audible, preview week 9.
Uh,
Yeah.
shoot,
Week
10?
10?
Yeah, yeah.
Isn't it
No,
10?
no, it's week. Yeah,
I thought it was
it's
9.
week 10.
Oh
No,
yeah,
no,
because
it's
the
week
Jets
10.
got because the Jets got a bye, so that's a win.
There you go.
Preview week 10, Friday, 12 noon, I believe, and Sunday, you catch Felipe and Sean. Sunday mornings, 11 o'clock. I believe Donk City is on bye week this Monday.
They are?
If
Really?
I believe correctly, they're coming back next week.
Huh?
Oh shit! I was just
Yeah,
joking when I told that to Vince.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's surprising.
Yeah, I believe they are. They're hit their off-season schedule.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow! All right.
We'll take it. We'll be all right.
Oh, I did
It's gonna
not
be
know
weird.
that.
It's gonna be weird, but also,
Yeah,
LaMelo Ball actually worked out for the Timberwolves. He conducted an individual workout in California with the owners. So we'll see.
Wow.
We'll see.
Good stuff.
But this
so
is getting
you can
thick.
catch any of our episodes by subscribing to the Life Group Podcast Network on YouTube or Anchor, Spotify, Apple, however you receive your podcast. Catch us on Facebook Live, Bolus Life Group, Wednesday nights, 8 o'clock. Thank you for your participation. Thank you, Jacob, again for another great show. And thank you, Felipe Incognito,
Yes, sir.
for your great spreadsheets and your insight.
Thanks for having me, guys. I had a lot of fun
Absolutely.
today.
Anytime.
Appreciate it.
Anytime.
So, till next week, ball out, everybody.
All out.